Welcome to the Adventures of Maltrake. I'm going to be leveling a Human Paladin from level 11 to the level cap. The community will largely decide where I level, but I've chosen Westfall for level 10 through 15. It's been updated quite substantially with Cataclysm, so I want to show that off. Through modern technology known as the in-game map, you will miss out on a lot of the travel time involved in this. I'll be opening and closing the map to show you a lot of what's going on here. We'll start off with something really comical and also sad. As you can see, old Blanchy has been murdered. It's unfortunate. However, Lieutenant Horatio Lane, fans or those who also loathe CSI Miami will recognize that. He is investigating the murder of the Furlbrows and Old Blanchy. And check this out. This is pretty hilarious. He says his cheesy lines just like in CSI Miami and sunglasses. Oh yeah. So this is a recurring theme within the zone. Horatio Lane is here for almost the entirety of the zone, and you discover a lot of things about it, and the story actually becomes quite interesting, to say the least. Now, the first quest here is to question some of the homeless people nearby at the farm. Now, this is another recurring theme within Westfall. The war in Northrend has taken quite a toll on the Kingdom of Stormwind. There are a lot more homeless and destitute citizens than in the past. This is compounded by the fact that the Defias Brotherhood has been disbanded with the death of Edwin Van Cleef. So there are a lot of people in Westfall seeking refuge, and as you can see, you can bribe them or have the option of just asking them for a clue. You have to collect 4 clues from these homeless people, and you'll notice when sometimes they'll decide to not talk to you, they'll fight back, and I'm sure a lot of people will find that distasteful, but when you kill them, kids run up and pick their pockets. But I haven't really had a lot of success in past instances of doing Westfall in the beta with the actually just asking them. So I usually always just bribe them with copper, and usually you get the clues. Sometimes they'll fight you, but usually they'll take the money. So you go around getting these clues, and this is the first quest in the zone. So it's kind of different from what most players will experience at low levels. If you remember, Westfall was all about collecting boar asses and um, buzzard beaks and stuff like that. But with Cataclysm, there's actually a story involved, and you start partaking in that story immediately. So I'm done with this quest. I'm turning it in to get the next quest, which is actually following up on these clues a bit. And you'll see that as I move through, I get a reward. And yes, I forgot to select the reward the first time I tried to turn it in. And you'll notice that I also forgot to equip my cloak, which is nothing major, but oops. Oh well. Alright, for these quests, I'm hot on the trail of the Riverpaw Gnolls and the Murlocs, who are apparently conspiring against the Furlbrows and have participated in this very, very violent crime. And there you see I got a schematic for the mechanical squirrel. Would have made a lot of money back then, and classic, probably not now, but oh well. So I'm fast forwarding this because as exciting as it is to kill gnolls and murlocs, especially murlocs, I know that you guys probably don't want to see this in normal speed because it took quite a while for the gnoll clue, a bit quicker for the murloc clue, as you can see soon. But I actually also got Captain Sanders' map, but I'm not going to bother with that because it's an out-of-the-way quest. I'm surprised it still exists. So I'm done with the quest. I'm heading back and getting the next quest from Horatio Lane. Magically. Wow. I'm back there already. Great travel time. So this next quest is actually to head to the Furlbrow Pumpkin Farm. The Pumpkin Farm is actually the first true quest hub of Westfall. As you can see, there's a flight path here. There's a house with quest NPCs logically placed around the house. and the content all takes place within the vicinity of the quest hub, very similar to Burning Crusade and especially Wrath of the Lich King, where most quest hubs usually led you around to areas nearby, and then once you're done with that quest hub, you progress to another quest hub. So these quests are to collect coyote tails and handfuls of fresh dirt. That sounds like a very tasty snack she's going to make me. I also have to head into the mine nearby to spy on the foreman of the mine and to kill some kobold diggers. So this is action-packed stuff right here. Killing some coyotes, killing some kobolds, right after killing gnolls and murlocs. It's just a lot of massacre going on. And this is a collect quest. This is the first ground collection quest of the zone. You collect from the coyotes as well as these fresh dirt piles which spawn around the pumpkin farm. And I'm going to go ahead and speed this up now because, again, I doubt you want to see this in normal speed. This is a pretty simple quest. I either got really lucky or the drop rate is 100%. Now, those buzzards are actually somewhat annoying because that ability they use causes them to not be in front of you quite often. So I'm finishing up the quest now, and it's off to the kobolds. So it's time to kill some kobolds and get a kobold candle with the flavor text, "You took it." It's pretty funny, actually. So the cave was actually empty on the way in because someone had just finished doing this quest. So I'm going to run in and do the spy on the foreman quest first after killing a couple kobolds. Alright, we'll go ahead and slow it down now so you can see the spy on the foreman quest. There's a lot of text going on here, and I want you to actually be able to read that. Now, I'm guessing this is going to have voiceover when the expansion comes out, because that seems to be a theme with a lot of the major quests in every zone, is that there's a lot of voiceover dialogue going in. And this is where the story actually begins to unfold. You see this shadowy figure is making a proposition to the foreman here, Foreman Glubtalk, who is overseeing the kobold operations in this mine, and she's basically making an offer to him. Do you want to run extortion out of a cave, or do you want to join me? And so this guy is getting kind of mouthy with her, and she makes it pretty clear to him. You can either try to kill me, and you're probably going to fail, or you can take option 2, which is to join her in the fight against whatever they're fighting against. And of course, this proposition includes the cliche of showering them in wealth and power. Oh boy. And so Glubtalk's like, well, okay, so I can either die or join you. He's an entrepreneur, so he knows what he's doing. He's gonna go ahead and take option 2, and then she's gonna be rather crass and say, I thought you'd see it my way. So this dawning day is upon us, apparently. And so this is more of a lore event than anything else. It's a quest that's pretty simple to do. You just sit there while this lore event takes place. And as you can see, I jumped ahead to the end of the Kobold Kill quest. Gonna finish this up, then we're gonna head back to the Furbrow Pumpkin Farm and see what's up next. So we're back at the Furbrow Pumpkin Farm now, and Tushu Lu is gonna give me some experience. He's talking about what's going on. He wants me to eavesdrop on some thugs out behind the farmhouse. He overheard them talking potentially about the same shadowy figure that I heard about in the cave. And taking that shield because there's no other real upgrade, just in case I decide for some reason to spec Holy at a low level to do dungeons. Turning that in, getting my slice of cake, heading back here. And I'm going to flash forward because, unfortunately, and pardon the low quality textures here, that's the new Cataclysm streaming client in action. The server crashed, so I had to restart. And as you can see, here's some more lore. I slowed it down so you could watch this. There's some interesting text here. And they're just talking about the shadowy figure, what happened with the Furrowbrows, and as you can see, the guild message of the day randomly spams you now as well, especially when you switch tabs on the guild window. So there's a bit of action here. Then they recognize me. Obviously, it took them a minute to notice this guy standing here with a giant sword. And then they attack me. And I'm like, yo, what's up? You guys are pretty weak. You're below average. Not very good thugs at all. Although they do look pretty awesome. I wouldn't mind looking like that. And now I'm going to head back. And oh no, there were gunshots. So, hurry back to Furrowbrow's cottage. Two Shoes Lou has been murdered. And Horatio Lane is on the case. And of course, here comes a cheesy line soon from Horatio. And of course, wait for it. Here it comes. Getting ready. Cheesy line is in action. Sunglasses. Oh yeah. And so that wraps up the Furrowbrow Farm quest hub. It was a pretty quick quest hub. It's fairly enjoyable. I mean, no difficult quests really. Some fun, interesting story. And now it's time for the shakedown at the Saldines. Alright, so we're here at the Saldines. I'm gonna turn this quest in, get level 13, spend my talent point, and if you remember in Classic, this was of course where the Westfall Stew quest took place, but for those of you that hated the Westfall Stew quest, it no longer exists in its original form. It's now a lot easier. The drops are 100%. The okra actually spawns in the ground, so you pick it up while you're killing the Harvest Reapers, and then the boars and buzzards are nearby, so you can kill all of it within the vicinity of the Saldines, and it's pretty easy, pretty quick. You'll notice I pause here. It's because I'm trying to decide if I want to speed it up yet or not, or show you what happens, and I remember that there is something I want you to see from this. The Harvest Reapers actually drop an item that starts a quest, and I get it here, the Harvest Watcher Heart. You'll want to take this quest and go turn it in before doing the rest of this, because the quest is nearby and there's no real reason to actually ignore it until you're done with these. You can do it while doing these. And we'll go ahead and fast forward a bit so you don't have to see me kill a bunch of boars, collect okra, and kill Harvest Reapers. I know you actually want to see the Harvest Watcher quest. This is actually a vehicle quest. You get in the Harvest Watcher and you power it up. You have two abilities. One, you have to stand still and channel, which I don't really use at all. The other one is this one where there's the channel ability. The other one is where you run around aimlessly swinging your claws, and it does a lot of damage to these Harvest Reapers. So you have to kill 25 of these. This quest actually closes out the Saldine Farm Hub. You get sent to Sentinel Hill to take the Westfall Stew to Hope Saldine, their adopted daughter, and you see there's an unbound tornado. And then you see some homeless people sitting around, and it's under siege by the Riverpaw Knolls. But you'll also notice that Sentinel Hill has kind of sprung up with Cataclysm. There's keep walls, it's turned into an actual town now, there's houses, the inn is finished, there's the lumber mill, there's siege tanks all around, and then you see Rip Snarl is a worgen that has been captured. And Horatio Lane has followed me through the zone and is here at Sentinel Hill now. And he's talking about my success. I've brought the perpetrators to justice, but their ringleader is still in the loose. So the story is still ongoing, and the investigation continues, and now he asks about the worgen. And Stoutmantle's like, this guy is easily agitated, you need to keep your distance. And it looks like he's right, because Ripsnarl's not a very friendly guy. He tells Horatio that he's going to rip out his heart and devour it whole when he gets out of the stocks. And of course, here is the cheesy line. Glasses and all. Alright, well this is going to close out the video. Stay tuned for more from Westfall and the Adventures of Maltrake.